like
ठीक है सर.
तो बंद कैसे करना है? Hello, am I audible? Good morning to everyone. Please keep quiet. Just I am going to discuss about the some basic concept of research and research methodology, and also sometimes it is known as some basic concept of research method. These are the in day-to-day life. These are the synonyms words, but under the research phenomena, these three words have the different meaning and significance, like the concept of research methodology, like the method of research and research methodology. First of all, I would like to be seated. I would like to discuss about what is the research, what is the research, and what are the search, what are the difference between the search and research. Actually, research is a systematic process to analyze anything, to analyze the information, to analyze the data, to find out the solution of the problem. That is the research. It means be silent. It means research. It is the process. It is not any concept, but it is the process to systematic analyze about the given information, about the having the data to find out the solution of any problem. That is the research. And it is totally different from the search. Search means find out the answer of any question directly, immediately. But in the case of research, if you want to find out the solution of the problem, it takes some much time. It might be take 2 years. It might be take 5 years. It depends upon the nature of the problem. But in the case of the research, it is only immediate answer of the questions. It is only the immediate of the solution of our problem through the book, through the searching engine like the Google. So we should know what are the difference between two like this. And no need go through the definition of research. Slide is moving. Yes. What are the differences between two, like the search and research? In the case of search, it is looking for the specific information. For example, suppose that everyone know that whenever any teacher entered in the class, student stand up and wish the teachers. It is the search. Suppose that one of you is not standing when any teacher enter into the class. So our observation, our solution, our findings say that person is actually not good. That person is not good. That is the bad behavior. That has the bad behavior. It is our search. But whenever we start to inquiry about them, why he is not standing when teacher come into the class, so it becomes the research. Because might be due to the some problems, due to the some illness, due to not pay attention when the teacher enter in the class, at the time of entering the class, might be the oversight, due to the thinking about the other things, due to the illness, due to the some physical problems, might be due to these things, not that person is not able to stand at that particular time, so it becomes our research. And it takes some time why that person is not standing when teacher comes in the class. No doubt when teacher come in the class, any person is not standing at that time, we can say that person is not ethical, that person has not the cultured person, that person is not good, that person is the bad. It is the search. But whenever you start to inquiry why that person is not standing whenever teacher comes in the class, that is the research. And it takes some time. It means in the case of the yes coming in the case of the in the case of the research, there is need to the inquiry. And inquiry, how to inquire? Through the observation. The that just given the example, it is come through the observation. We can inquire through the quantitative method. We can inquire through the qualitative method. We can inquire through the survey. We can inquire through the like the schedule. We can inquire through the questionnaire. We can inquire through the action. Like there are number of ways to the inquire. These are come under the tools of the research. And second very important difference between the search and research. In the case of the search, it is the informal and quick answer. Quick informal search using tools like the search engine. But in the case of research, it is the structural, like the questionnaire, it is part of the structural, like the observation, it is the good example of the unstructural, and open-ended method, it is the good example of the unstructured, ended questions, it is the good example of the structured. Okay. Survey from the secondary data, it is the good example of the panel data discussion, it is the good example of the time series data. So there is need to the some information. So it is the structural formal methodology, and in the case of the time and depth search, it take too less time in comparison to the research. Therefore, whenever it take too little time, it means that is the surface level knowledge. It means there is only the knowledge. There is only the know about the concept. We have no knowledge about why these are happening in our environment. And if you focus why these things are happening, it is come under the part of the research. There is a, for example, suppose that there is the inverse relationship between between the price and quantity demanded. In the case of law of demand, that is the search. Why there is the inverse relationship between the two means price and quantity demanded due to the income effect, due to the substitution effect, due to the marginal utility effect, the law of diminishing marginal utility, due to the increase in the population. These are come under the research. It means when you focus what are the things, that is the part of the search, and why these are happening, this is the part of research. Are you getting my point? gentlemen. And example two, search engine, online database, and in the case of example, looking up a fact, finding, and so on. It's clear? May I proceed? And what are the characteristics of the research? The first characteristics of the research is that it should be directed. It means there should be the direction. What are you going to do? It means our objective of the study should be very clear. Without the clarity of the objective, we are not able to search out and reach at the finding, reach at the conclusion. That's why the research, the first character of the research, it should be directed. Means it should be directed toward our problems, toward our objective. And second one is research is based upon the observable experience or empirical evidence. Third one is research demand accurate observation and descriptions. There should be the accuracy. It means that there will not be any statement which create some confusion regarding your statement. Statement should be the clear. What you have to find out. Why you have to do these things. In the introduction part, it should be the mention. For example, suppose that our topic is like the poverty elevation program, and there are number of poverty elevation program in India. For example, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. For example, Gandhi Rozgar Yojana. For example, Indira Gandhi House Awas Yojana. For example, Atal Vajpayee pension, like that. There are number of schemes. So there are number of chances to do your work. There are number of problems. What one topic might be created. Which one is more effective? Which policy is more effective in the case of India? Which one is more effective for the rural area? The second problem might be arises. Which one is more effective for the rural area? Which one is more effective for any particular state like Uttar Pradesh, like Bihar? That is the third problem. And why there is not effective? This scheme, there is another problem. So number of problems you can create, but it should be highly correlated to our introduction and objective. First of all, you have to how to find out your problems. The problem of statement, it is find out on the basis of two things. First one is on the basis of literature review, and second thing must be keep in your mind कि our problem of statement should be social oriented, should be beneficial for our India, for our country. We should be think why actually in the case of India per year 10,000 research has been submitted. I am saying the minimum number, more than 10,000 research and PhD are submitted every year. But why not any one research are implemented and executed by our government? There should be think about these things. Why not our any research? A researcher has take long period of time, like the 5 years, 6 years, but his policy, her policy, your policy is not executed by government. Why? Because our research is not give the clear-cut message. Because we have, due to the lack of patience, Being a researcher, you have to the patience. You have to take the enjoy from your research. But I observe that most of researchers feel the unpleasures. If you feel unpleasure, you are not able to get out, meet out, and reach at the specific solution of any problem. In case of India, only copy and paste, nothing else. That's why our PhD, our research is not implemented by our government. And third character is that research involves gathering new data. Research involves gathering new data. Always try to gather the new data. What is the meaning of new data? Can you anyone tell me about what is the meaning of the new data? Yes, Gavin? Primary data is the new data. No, totally wrong. Suppose that anyone have done any research on the primary data, you can take her data, that is the new data. No, it might be the recent data, it might be the old data. What is the meaning of new data?
The data which has not been used earlier, the data previously not taken or considered.
Yet previously it is not taken and considered by any researchers. It means you have to take and gather the data after find out the research gap. Without the research gap, we are not able to get the data. How you can gather the data without the research gap? Suppose that in case of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, in case of Uttar Pradesh, it is very effectively in each and every district. But suppose that in the case of Lucknow, there is no any study about what are the implication and effect of the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana in Lucknow district. If you take some data from the Lucknow district, it becomes the new data. And if you take the data from the Badai, already the work has done. That is only the misinterpretation of the data, nothing else. It is not the new data. New data means never the primary data, never the secondary data. Data should be used as the fresh. Either might be the primary data or secondary data. That's why secondary data, it is also known as the processing data. बेटा बात करना है तो मेरे क्लास से बाहर जाइए. चलिए आप दोनों उठिए. ये मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है पढ़ाना, ठीक है ना, मुझको इसका पैसा मिलता है. Yes, come in. I am taking this class only to enjoy myself, nothing else more. आप ये ना समझिए कि मेरी ड्यूटी है. इट्स नॉट माय ड्यूटी. नहीं पढ़ना क्लास के बाहर जाइए. Who will call you? कोई बुलाया आपको? I am not feeling well. Instead of this, I am taking the class as a substitute. It's not my class. It is not allotted for me. अभी पूछ देंगे, कुछ आएगा नहीं. बताओ, what is the data? What is the data? Your behavior like a school children. It's not the way. कायदे से पढ़ो बेटा. कहाँ पढ़ा तो मैं भूल भी जाता हूँ इसमें. New data. New data means कि any data, any information which is totally undiscovered, which is not used by any researcher, that is the new data. It means कि under the research, you should be use the new data. It's clear? And next one is research activities are categorized by carefully designed procedures. It means कि RM means research methodology, means design of research. It should be clearly defined कि why you are using this type of tools, why you are formulating this type of hypothesis, why you have taken this type of objective. Everything have the reasons. If you have the reasons, you can justify your research work. Therefore, it should be clearly defined and designed. And in the case of research paper, the first and typical part of the research paper, it is the introduction, and it is comprises by the three components, like you have to write about under the introduction, highlighted the background of the topic, then again start to write the question yourself. And third, very important, what you are going to do. It means you are able to write the introduction part. Introduction part, it is the very necessary right now. If you want to publish your paper in renowned journal, in Scopus Index journal, there should be write very clearly about the introduction. And introduction, it should be comprises about the background of the topic. Next, what are the questions, means what are the problems, and third, what you should go to do good. This is the introduction. For example, suppose that if you are not able to start write down your introduction, so firstly you start to write about the negative sense. It is the art. Please listen me attentively. It is the negative sense. For example, suppose that he is honest person. It means कि another one is dishonest. That's why he is honest. It is the relative term. It's clear. Suppose that कि one of you, it is the very honest person. It means कि another is not honest. And if you are not able to write directly about him, कि he is the honest person, so you should start about the dishonest person. कि all the research scholar of this batch are dishonest except that person. And why he is the honest? Because he is the regular, he is the sincere, he always sit in the front of teachers, he always occupied the front seat, and always he reads something. That's why he is honest person. It is clear. Suppose that, for example, in the case of poverty in India, it is the great problem, it is the great challenge in the case of India, poverty. If you are not able to define the poverty, so you should go through the unpoverty. What is the unpoverty? Why there is the unpoverty? Why there is the rich person? If you start about the some person like the Dhirubhai Ambani and company, automatically you reach from to the poverty person. It means कि if you want to write the introduction, there are two very simple approach: deductive method and inductive method. In always in the research, there is two approaches are used: inductive method and deductive method. Deductive method means what? Deduct something. Means you are going from general to the particular. You are going from general to particular. It means it is the deductive method. General means generalize. Suppose that I am saying that this class is very honest. The people of this class is very intelligent. How I'm saying? Because after the observing some person, it is the deductive method. If suppose that any person give one statement, pass one statement, कि this class is very intelligent, it means the person A is also intelligent, person B is also intelligent. It is the deductive method. It means कि we are going from general to the particular. And in the case of research, always it is used, especially in the case of review of the literature. There is need, because in the review of literature, we are trying to find out what are the limitation of this paper. Without the limitation of the paper, we are not able to find out the research gap. Always, being a researcher, we try to find out what are the limitations of that paper, and how to find out the limitation of that paper through the thorough study and through the journal to the particular. It is clear? It means that the first approach, which is used as a deductive method, it is used in the case of review of the literature, and it is the heart of the study. It is the heart of the research. And another method is, it is the inductive method. It is basically used in the case of analyzing the data. It is used in the case of collection of the data. For example, if I want to know about the taste and fashion of the young blood, it's clear? So, in that case, we start to asking about individual. What is your fashion? What is your choice about that laptop? About that bike? And if I found the majority of people are find that brand, so it Dell brand of the laptop, it means it is, I am just going from uh, inductive approach from individual to the particular, individual to the generalized. So in that case, in the case of analyze the research, there is need to the induction method, and in the case of research, in the case of review of the literature, there is need to the deductive method. There are two methods, deductive method and inductive method. And whole study are surrounding around the inductive method and deductive method. Deductive, if you forget the what is the deductive, D for definition. Definition means generalization. Law of demand, it is the general, it is the deductive. If the law of demand, it means there is the inverse relationship between two. It means if you want to check the validity of the law of demand, so there is need to the study the different household. In that case, you are find out the problems in the law of demand. We can validate the law of demand like that. It's clear? And in the case of induction method, it is also known as the scientific method. Inductive method, it is also known as the scientific method. It is more precise, and it takes too much time, because in the case of inductive method, result is totally unknown. A researcher have no any idea what will be the happen after my research, after my study. That's why it is more precise and it is more scientific in comparison to the deductive method. Because in the case of deductive method, there is chances of the biases, because already I know what are the relationship between the price and quantity demanded. If I not found this type of relations, I am trying to interpret and misguide the statement. It's clear. That's why deductive method is not so good. Deductive method is not so scientific, because there is the chances of the bias. And next one is research is objective and logical. It is come under the inductive and deductive method. Collected and conclusion reached. Research required courage, patience, and unhurried. It's clear? Being a researcher, you need to keep the patience. Otherwise, you can damage your life, nothing else. आपको अपना पेशेंस रखना पड़ेगा. Keep your patience. If you keep your patience, you become a good researcher. If you only get the degree of the PhD, Doctor of Philosophy, later on you feel that it's not that ethical. If you want to be a researcher, there is need to keep the patience. It means that there is need to study more and more research paper. Go through your topic like that. Any doubt about these slides? Third one is character is complete. Objective of the research, C1. No need to discuss about this. Already I have discussed under the characteristics of the. Any doubts? Types of research. It is very important. Types of research. First one is pure and applied research. Pure and applied research. Pure research, it is also known as fundamental research. It is also known as the basic research. It means it is not related to our problems. For example, if you want to know what are the structure of the DNA, it is not our problem of the society. If you know the structure of the DNA, if I want to know the smallest particle of the atom, like the electron, proton, neutron, it is not the problem of the society. Only enhancing our knowledge, only enhancing our information, nothing else. It's clear? And opposite is applied research. Applied research, actually it is based on the problems. What are the problems exist right now? How to find out the problem? How to resolve the problem? It is come under the applied research. And next one is exploratory and formulative research. Exploratory research are those research there is no a researcher have a little knowledge in the background, a researcher have no any prior knowledge, and it is start through the inductive method. This research, it is start through the inductive approaches, because researcher have no any knowledge or have the basic knowledge. And descriptive research, basically it is used in the social science, economics, commerce and management. Descriptive research, it is the type of research where all things are only the described with the help of the information, with the help of the data. For example, time series analysis, it is nothing but only the described. You have taken the, so for example, all the measurement of the central tendency and standard deviation, skewness, these are come under the descriptive analysis, because mean tell us about the average number of the series, maxima and minima tell about the range of the series, medium tell about the partition between the two, mode it is tell it is the highest rank of any number, and deviation it tells how much deviated from our average. These are come under the descriptive analysis, and it is only basically used in the social sciences. And in that case, never we see about how the change in the variables, only observe the changes in the variable. We never go through why there is the changes. Only we have to describe there is the changes. What are the changes? You have to describe under the descriptive analysis. Why there is the changes? Never come under the descriptive analysis. Why there is the changes? That is come under the exploratory analysis. If you find out the reason, it is come under the exploratory, and what are the changes, what are the cause and effect, that is come under the descriptive. For example, if there is the inverse relation, yeah, there is the positive relationship between income and consumption level. It's clear? What are the relation between the income and consumption? there is a positive relationship between income and consumption. That is the descriptive. And why there is the positive relationship between income and consumption? That is the descriptive. Because you have no any idea. Without the investigate about the household, we are not able to reach at the conclusion. You are not able to reach at the particular reason. That's why it is come under the descriptive analysis. And or we can say research. Next one is evaluation studies. Evaluation, it is actually not related to the researchers. It is basically related to our policy maker. It is related to the policy maker. Evaluation study means ki what has happened in the past and what should be in the future. That is related to the our policy maker like the government. And next one is action research. For example, why there is, for example, in the case of India, after the some time, India become the hub of the diabetic patient. Everyone know. It's clear? This is come under the action research. Why it become the hub of the diabetic patient means India. Hardly after 5 years, India become the hub of the diabetic patient. Why it become the hub of the diabetic patient? What I should do? What should the remedial step to prevent this type of happening? These are come under the action research. It's clear? Means why, when, why, and what. This is come under the action research. And experimental research, it is related to the psychology, it is related to the biology, it is related to the science. Yes, any question?
I said, what's the difference between action and apply?
Action and applied. In the case of applied, it is the basic. This is not related to the our problem. For example, finding the structure of DNA, it's not our the problem. It's not our the problem of the society. It is only enhancing our knowledge, like the philosopher, like Aristotle, like Mahatma Gandhi. Honesty, the best policy. It's clear? It is the basic and fundamental research. It's clear? Survey, case study, it is not our part for the research. See this one, pure and applied. Better quality, please. Read thoroughly, and if you have any doubt, maybe ask. Pure research, it is advanced knowledge and theory within practical application to satisfy our intellectual curiosity, studying subatomic particles behavior. It is the study of finding solution to the problems. Applied research aim to solve specific practical problems. For example, in the case of India, suppose that if there is increase in the height, there is increase in the age, there should be also increase in the height, there should be also increase in the weight. It is the problem. But in the case of India, in the case of Indian children, age is rising, increasing, but height is not increasing. It is a great problem for Indian children. So there is need to understand why these things are happening. Due to the more use of the mobile, due to the less physical work, due to the more focus on indoor game. That's why the Indian children height is not proportionally increased with the age. This is the problem. It is come under the applied research. It's clear, any doubt? See differences between the two. It help more clear. May I proceed? Exploratory or formulative research conduct to formulate a new problems. It is also known as the formulative research. Formulative research means formulate new things. It's clear? It means it is formulate new things with the new idea. And all the hypotheses, it is come under the exploratory and formulative research. Because all the hypotheses of your research, it is totally different from the other person. Because hypothesis, it is our pre-assumption of our mind. That's why it is totally different from the others. It is the subjective phenomena. It is not the objective phenomenon. It's clear? That's why the testing of the hypothesis, it is come under the exploratory research. Key features of the exploratory. If there is the formulation of the hypothesis, it means that there is no any structure. If you ask the some question through the structure method, it means that there is no hypothesis. In the hypothesis, there should be only use of your mind. There should be need to depth study about the concept. There is no need to the structure. It means that under this method, often there is use the open-ended questions. There are two types of questions. Already in the previous class, I have discussed open-ended and ended questions. Two in the case of the collection of the data. In the open-ended, there is no any specific alternate. There is no MCQ type of question. There is no writing of the question. There is no use of the recall scales. But in the case of open closed-ended, there is the MCQ. Means ki, for example, what is your gender? Like male and female. This is the type of MCQ. What are the age group? What are the economic income group? Like suppose that there are 5 income groups. But in the case of open-ended and in the experimental method, or we can say in the case of hypothetical method, there is no need to use of closed-ended questions. There should be open-ended questions. It means that there should be unstructured. It means that only all the questions must be come from the observation, must be come from our mind. That is come under the experimental. It is the first and foremost important feature and character of this research. And second one is preliminary, means that there is very little knowledge of that problem. It means that there is no significance information about that problem. There is little prior knowledge. For example, suppose that in the case of India, there is a rapidly increase in the population. It's clear? But what are the rate of the increase in the population? I think no one knows without the census. No doubt, I observe that there is rapidly increase in the population. Everyone knows that there is rapidly increase in the Indian population. It's clear? That is the basic little knowledge of for your research. And what are the rate of increase of population? Without the census, no one knows. It's clear? So census, with the help of census, we are able to know about the rate of the population. So if you have any researcher have the basic and little prior knowledge that is come under the this research. And qualitative, it often there is the use of the qualitative. For example, suppose that one researcher who want to research about the medical facilities of integral university. It's clear? So there might be two types of research. One is that what are the amount of the total patients who visit through the OPD. It is come under the quantitative technology and method, and how to doctor treat to them. It is come under the qualitative method. What means how to motivate the patients, because patient more than 50% patient automatically become the will when doctor motivated to them. It's clear? So being a doctor, there should be no the art and skill of the motivation. Without the motivation, the patient never be well off, never be cured of. For example, suppose that anyone suffering from the fever and doctor is saying you are fever due to the COVID-19, automatically patient will die after 5 minutes. Within the 5 minutes. It's clear? So there is, in the case of the doctor, there is need to the study of the qualitative, means what are the motivational power, how to treat the patient, being a teacher, how to teach to you. This is the my quality. It's clear. So in the case of professional like the teachers, doctors, and lawyers, there is more focus to study about the quality in comparison to the quantity. It's clear. Any doubts? What is the next purpose? क्या बेटा? Generate new idea, because there is no any basic idea about this through this method. That's why with the help of this method we are able to generate new method, a new idea. For example, have you any example how to generate the new idea? What is the research? At the last, whenever you write about the conclusion, only 5 lines, that is the research, nothing else. Only writing the 5 lines under the conclusion, that is your research.
Next is our findings.
Finding, not finding. Finding is another part. Finding means finding and discussion. It is come under the analyzing the part. After the finding, after the analyzing of your data, if you write something, write hardly 5 lines
Our contribution.
under the conclusion, that is your research. So in that case, with the help of this method, we generate the new idea. For example, suppose that there are number of branded of the mobile like Apple, Samsung, MI3 and so on. People think there is less demand of the Apple brand mobile because high price, because due to the high cost. It's clear? But whenever you start to investigate about the market, right now this time it is the current study about myself. We find there is the more selling of the Apple instead of the high cost. It is the new idea. It generates the new idea. It means right now price is not play a significant role in the demand and supply. Right now, this time, this modern era, in the era of fashion, there is more influence by the desire. There is more influence by the consumer, the brands. There is more demand due to the taste and fashion. Price becomes the secondary thing, and taste and fashion become the primary thing. and before 10 years, 20 years, price become the primary thing and another factor become the secondary thing. But right now, taste and fashion of consumer become the primary things and price become the secondary and tertiary things. This is how I am saying to you after the research. It means it gives the new ideas. It's clear? And next one is to increase the research familiarity with the problems. If you do these things, you are able to find out what type of problems. At the end of research, you have to write what are the limitations of our research. It is also the compulsory part of our research. What are the limitations in our research regarding the time constraints, regarding the collection of the data, regarding the language problems, regarding the habitat, regarding the access problems, regarding the participant and respondent are not interested to provide the information. These are come under the problems. And then again researchers start to think how to resolve this problem. That is becomes the research. Why we think why you have to write the problems under the research? Because with the help of your problems, I am able to search out and research the next ideas. How to resolve these problems. If you give some idea, how to give some idea with the help of limitations. How to resolve the limitation, it is also the part of the research. It's clear? And recommendation means suggestion what you should do in the future. It is also the helpful for the next generation. So it's my humble request to all of you please give your limitations and suggestion and recommendation very honestly. Because the future of our India, it is totally depend upon your limitations and suggestions. Because next generation take over your limitations and suggestions. Any doubt? Then gather information of clarifying concept to determine whether it is feasible to attempt the study or not, like this. Any doubt? Descriptive research. Descriptive research means describe the thing. Already that things are given in the form of table, in the form of picture. Only describe all the things in scientific manner. That is the descriptive research. Any doubt? See this one. What are the characteristics of the descriptive? Objective observation. What is the meaning of objective observation? Anyone can tell me? बेटा मुझे जहां नहीं समझ में आता मैं वही पूछता हूँ. बताइए बेटा आप बताइए. Yes. What is the meaning of objective observation? What is the objective of observation? Just I told you under the descriptive method, there is no need to control any variables. There just observe. There is no need to study why our variable behave like this, either in increasing order or decreasing order, in ascending order or descending order. Only observe this thing. That's why objective observation. It means you have only observed in what path our variable is going on. It's clear? There is no need to control your observation. There is no need to study and know to reason why our observation doing such a manners, doing such type of behavior. Only we have to observe. It's clear? That's why the first character is objective observation. And second one is quantitative or qualitative data. In, in the case of descriptive method, there is often use of quantitative method in comparison to the qualitative and no manipulation of the variable. That's why it is objective observation because there is no need to the manipulation of the observation. Why these factors are variable doing this type of behavior? Why there is no need to the control? All the variables are free. Only you have to observe. What are the changing going on? It's clear? Data collection method. There are number of method to collect the data under the descriptive method. Anyone can tell me any one method? Interview, case study, survey. Often there is used the surveyed method. There are every method you can use, but the most suitable method in the case of descriptive analysis, there is surveyed or we can say schedule and questionnaire. So, should we remember if your research is basically in the descriptive in the nature, you should use the questionnaire and surveyed method or we can say schedule method. It will be the best. It's clear? We can use any method. It depends upon you, but it is more suitable to for the descriptive method because in the descriptive method only describe which age prefer this thing, which income family prefer this thing, which what are the educational level to prefer this type of product. So there is only the describe, and in the describe there is only need to the make the question. That is known as the question and. It's clear? Any doubt बेटा आप लोगों को कोई doubt है? Characteristics. It's over. क्या है? Why not it move? ये मूव क्यों नहीं करते? Anyone can help me? Why not it move? जाना है जाओ भाग क्यों रहे? What are the differences between two? See this one. Then diagnostic study. It is related to the medical science and sciences, like what is happening, why these things are happening, how to control these happening. For example, this is come under the diagnostic study. Purpose, no need go through the purpose. Evaluation study, it is basically used for by the policy maker to know about the past to formulate about the future policy. Action research, see this one. Experimental research are same. Already I have discussed. No need to historical survey research. case study. Significance of the research. Already I have discussed all the important types of the research, like the applied, action, exploratory, descriptive, basic or fundamental. Only being an academician, five types of research is important. And next one is significance of the research. What are the significance of the research? First one is advancing knowledge. With the help of research, we can increase in our knowledge. That's why it is known as advancing knowledge, solving problems, informing decision making. With the help of research, we are able to take the decisions, economic development. With the help of research, it helps to use modern and sophisticated technology. Why America use modern technology? Why not used by India? Why not used by Kuwait? The per capita income of Kuwait is big higher in comparison to India. The per capita income of all countries are big higher in comparison to India, Pakistan, Nepal and Bhutan. Instead of this, there is no use of high technology. There is no up to the mark regarding the medical facilities in the Gulf countries, only due to the lack of the research. In the case of India, India is highly good in the case of medical facility. In case of Indian people, the compounder of Indian people become the medical officer CMO in Saudi Arabia. The compounder of Indian people become and appointed as the CMO in Saudi Arabia. Why these things are happening? Even there is the high per capita income. Saudi Arabia is rich in comparison to India because there is the lack of the research. That's why there is people are high at the higher post. It's clear? So research is very necessary. Uh, Before 10 years or 20 years, in the case of R&D, research and development, China and India has rapidly increased in R&D. Then there is the great challenge in front of USA कि how to damage the R&D of China and India. Therefore, the European countries and USA launched a mobile as a twice. Multimedia mobile, especially launched by America and European countries to damage our R&D. And there is a negative impact due to the more use of the mobile. There is our R&D had declined drastically. It is the recently observation. It's clear. So research and development means research. It is very necessary to the meet out of our day-to-day life problems, to promote our economic growth, to use of modern technology, to use of modern machines for economic development, especially in the case of developing countries. Because from the very beginning, just after getting the independence, India mainly focused on economic growth. Instead of this, India is not able to meet out and address these challenges. Even the economic growth of India never reached in 2 digits. So what are the reasons behind it? There is need to the research. And our research tells us that our India is divided into so many parts. on the basis of caste, on the basis of creed, on the basis of gender, on the basis of so many things. That's why India is not able to meet out the economic growth rate in 2 digits. It is the reason. So, with the help of these things, this is the significance, importance of the research, recognize the potential opportunities, SWOT analysis. We can say all the fifth point in 4 words. 4 words only, SWOT analysis. The research, with the help of research, we can analyze the SWOT. S for strength, W for weakness, O for opportunity, T for threat. All the things are come through the research. And all these 5 points surrounding around the SWOT analysis. It is nothing but it is the SWOT analysis. आप ब्रीफ में लिख सकते हैं SWOT analysis. It's clear? Research method. Actually, research methodology and research both are the different things. Research method, it is the part of the research methodology. Under the research methodology, all the things like the objective of the research, like the hypothesis of the research, nature of the research, statistical tools and technique of the research, these are come under the research methodology. And research method, one of them. Research method, one of them. It means कि research method, it is the narrow sense of the research methodology. Never think कि both are the same. Research methodology and research method, both are totally different. Under the research methodology, there have to incorporate it. What are our objective of the study? What are the hypotheses of our objective? Which tools we are going to use? How to collection of the data? What are the nature of the research? Like it is the fundamental research, it is the exploratory research, it is the descriptive research, it is the action research, it is the diagnostic research. We should be mentioning your research paper or research. Which type of your research is going on. The first, under the research methodology, you have to write the nature of the research. You should be mentioned which type of research you are going to do. It is come under the research methodology. Then second very important, objective of the study. And hypothesis of the objective, it is just opposite of the objective. Suppose that our objective is that after Taliban left Afghanistan, there is declining in the export, there is declining in the trade. So in that case, our objective should be like that, there is no significant impact of Taliban on the trade, and vice versa. Means our null hypothesis should be like that, there is no significant impact of Taliban on Afghanistan trade, and our alternative hypothesis like that there is significant impact of Taliban-led government on trade volume of Afghanistan, like that. It's clear? Are you getting my point or not? How to generate and how to formulate the hypothesis. It is just around our objective. If our objective is that, suppose that our objective is to analyze, to examine what are the impact on Afghanistan trade after the Taliban-led government since 2021. It's clear? It is our objective. So what should be our hypothesis? Our hypothesis is that there is no significant impact of Taliban government, not group, Taliban government on the trade, and there is the significant impact of the Taliban government on the trade. It's clear? So, how to research methodology? It might be the quantitative research methodology, quantitative, how to collect the quantitative information through the survey method. It's clear? Through the questionnaire, through the schedule method, through the observation like this. It's clear? There are number of ways to collect the quantitative research data. And observation, there are two types of observation: direct participation, not participation. Already I have discussed in the previous class. That's why I am not able to go again and again. It's clear? So under this, any doubts? Any doubts? Quantitative, it's clear, very clear. Everything should be very clear. And just opposite is qualitative research. In the qualitative research, just I want to know the quality of any goods. For example, if I want to know the quality of education of Integral University, it's clear how to measure the quality of Integral University through the asking to you. No, it becomes a quantitative. If you brought over here, it means ki naturally you say ki there is a good quality of education. If anyone brought over here to study in Integral University, obviously he and she say ki there is a good education. How to measure it? Through the NAEC. Through the NAEC. And in the case of NAEC, he gave the grade A plus. A plus diya beta. A plus means what? There is a number? No. There is only the grading. A plus means you are excellent. A plus plus means outstanding. A means very good. B means good. C means satisfactory. D means nothing. It is nothing, but it is the quality. And how to measure the quality of education of any institutions like Integral? Through the session of the study. It is the first criteria to measure the quality of education about the session of that university. And in case of Integral University, not a single day delay in our session, even during the COVID-19. It's clear? And second measurement is infrastructure. There are number of criteria, but first and very important criteria, it is the session. And in the case of session, our examination controller of examination is firm determined that at any cost there is no delay in the session. That's why I am getting the A plus in the case of 9. And measurement of the quality of education, it is the part of the qualitative research. It's clear? Any doubt? आप लोग बोर हो रहे लग रहा है? Research method and research methodology. Already I told you that there is a differences. No, go through this slide. Already I have explained in detail what are the differences between the methodology, research methodology and research method. Actually, research method, it is the one part of the research methodology. And under the research methodology, all things are come under the research methodology, like the research gap, objective, hypothesis, nature of the research, tools like the questionnaire, schedules. These are come under the research methodology. It's clear? And research method like the quantitative method and qualitative method, it is one part of the research methodology. I think up to this level you have no any doubt. If you have any doubt, maybe ask. Without any hesitation, you can ask. Then next one is, what is the research process? It is very important. It's very important. Today in my lecture, there is only two things is important. First one is research type, and second one is what is the research process. It's clear? There is the some steps you should be followed. These steps strictly. See this one. First one is that identification of the problem. The first step of the research process is should be identification of the problem. How to identify the problem? What is the identification of the problem?
To find out what is the problem.
What are problem? That is the identification of the problem. What is the problem?
The gap, the research gap.
Research gap is the problem.
What you intend to solve.
Just I am asking to you in general sense, what is the problem? What is the problem? Problem means if I have no any solution, that is the problem. If you have not used anything, that is the problem. Some student asking you, if you become a teacher, some student asking you, sir, please tell me what is the important. Tell me some important question. Your answer should be that what you have to not study, it is important for you. What you have to underutilize, that is the important for you. And problem means if you have not any solution, if you have not addressed the challenges, if you are not able to meet out the problem, that is your problem. And in the case of research, how to find out the problem, identification of the problem through the research gap, and it should be social oriented. It should be national oriented. It should be in the interest of the nation, not interest of own family. It's clear? The identification of problem, it is basically based on two things. What are the research gap, and our research gap, with the help of research gap, you can able to formulate the problem, and it should be the society oriented. For example, suppose that I have found the problem through the research in the case of Afghanistan. Afghanistan, it is the locked country. It's clear? Locked country, it is covered by different countries like Pakistan, Iran. It's clear? If I am studying about the Pakistan problems, it is not basically it is not beneficial for India. Being an Indian, it should be also consider the Indian problem. No doubt, if you interested to find out the problem of Afghanistan, it should be compared in between problem of Afghanistan and India. It's clear? It is like to be the social oriented. And second important thing which is come under the process of the research, that is evaluate the literature, means review the literature, and how to write. Suppose that one person, for example, you She told ki many times I have read the one literature paper, but still I am not able to find out, and the concept is not clear. Why your concept is not clear? Because firstly, whenever you read your research paper, you should focus on three things. First thing is that which topic has been considered in that research paper. Second very important thing is that which type of tools and data are used in that paper. It's clear? And third one is that what are the conclusion of that paper. And next very important fourth component of the writing the literature review, that are the limitation of that paper. You should be remember whenever you start to write the literature review, firstly focus and describe in your own language about the topic, then what tools and statistics are used, and what are the findings and what are the limitations. Automatically you start to write down each and everything about the paper. It's clear? Four things. Whenever you start to write the literature review, you should be focused on the four things. About the topic, means describe the topic, which type of tools are used, what are the findings, and what are the limitations. It's clear? And next, very important, third one is create hypothesis. After the series is not correct, that series is not correct. The third one is that literature research gap. After the literature review, there should become the research gap. It's clear? After the research gap, and after the research gap, you have to formulate the objective of your study. Note down the first in that diagram, the series is not given correctly. I am saying very frankly. It's clear? मेरे साथ यही डिमेरिट है, मैं ऑनेस्टली बोल देता हूँ कि मेरे अंदर क्या करना, ठीक है? That is not given in correct series. So note down the first one is identification of the problem with the help of literature guide, and it should be social oriented. Second one is literature review, review of the literature, and how to review of the literature means how to write the literature review. First one is describe the topic, which type of tools are used, finding and limitations. Findings and limitations. It's clear? Then third very important part of the research, that is formulated of the objective. Means formulation of objective. बेटा वहाँ गलत दिया है. Formulation of objective. On the and next thing is on the basis of formulation of objective, we can formulate the hypothesis. It's clear? All the hypotheses are basically based on our objective. It should be based on our objective. It's clear? How many steps I told you? First one is identification, literature review, research gap, and objective hypothesis. Then next one is write about the tools and techniques. Tools and techniques means how to collect your data, which type of tools you are going to use, about your nature of the topic. It depends upon about your nature of the topic. It's clear? Then interpretation and discussion, interpretation and discussion, or we can say analyze the data. Next one is discussion about finding and discussion, finding and discussion. Next one is conclusion, and last one is further recommendation. Further recommendation means suggestion. It's clear. Sometimes it is also known as implication for the government. It's clear. These things are the same. Further recommendation, suggestion, or we can say implication for the government. It's clear. In this way, I have completed the series and process of the research. Next, what are the steps of the research? Already I have told you. Top 10 challenges faced by researchers. See this one. Read and see this one and try to remove these things from your personality. First one is slow and time consuming process. It means कि there is need to the patient. ठीक है. Next one is difficulty in getting the grant and fund. It's clear. It is a great problem for both country, like your country and for my country. Yes, gentlemen.
Yes.
There is there is no any provision for the funding. It means कि both have the same problem. No funding except the project. In project you are getting the some funding, but in the case of research, I think you are not getting the fund from the government side. It's clear. It means that both countries suffer from the same problem. There is the common feature for you and myself. And third one is, bada bahar rahiye. It's not time. Juggling activities to ensure better time. Active networking and collaboration. Everything is clear? Any doubt? So may I wind up all the things? I think if you have no any doubt, because this is a very easy topic, and already our senior, my senior, not your senior, already lectured on this topic. So I think there is the repetition of the topic. Clear ना? Already हो चुका है.